Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today's going to be kind of a short day. I'm going to show you how I laid out the interior girts. I'm not going to be working on that though. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of organizing, and that's going to be it. Real short day. Right here, that little B designates my benchmark. What I did, well, first I started looking around. I tried to get this laser level onto a tripod. I don't have a tripod made for this. I tried using my camera tripod and a bunch of other stuff, and it didn't work. So I just screwed this 2x6 right to my lumber pile, put a little bench on top. Then I got up on a ladder, got my levels all dead level, and started it spinning. And once I did that, I came and checked this one. This one is the last column on this side. I checked the one across from it. Then I checked right in the middle. I measured from the benchmark to the ground to make sure none of them were like 4 or 5 inches out of level. That would have been a really bad thing. Let me show you what I got out of it. The benchmark to the ground, where are those? I believe those are those are the top numbers. So they're all within an inch, well, much less than an inch. The benchmark to the concrete, on the other hand, the shortest one is that one over there. When that one is at 0, I believe one of the ones over here is at like 1 1/8 inches. There's a good inch, maybe 1 1/4 inches difference between right in here and over there. I think you can kind of see it. Yeah, you could see how much this grade board, you can see there's not much of it showing right there. Oh, maybe 1.5 inches. And then when you get over to here, it dips down right there, it goes back up, dips down again. And that's to be expected, which is why I'm doing this. What I'm doing is putting on the interior girts, and then my plywood interior is going to go on that. So when I put on the wood panels on this wall, I need to know the place where the concrete is closest to the girt so that I can put all of the wood panels in and not start like, say, right here and go a certain amount of distance and then I'm running into the concrete. Here, let me show you on the paper here. All right, this wall, or the wall in here, is going to be 4x8 wood panels, and those need to go in on a level line. So say we snapped a level line across the top, which is what I'm going to do. Then there's going to be a little space between the top line and the floor, so I can shove shims under there and get it perfectly level. Then I'll screw it into place. But if the floor is not even, if the floor goes like that, we would have to notch out the bottom of some of the panels. So what needs to be done is we need to find the highest spot in the floor and then measure up 8 feet plus, in this case it's 3/8 of an inch, just because my benchmark came to a perfect number like that. And that's perfect. I was going to go for a 1/4 inch, but 3/8 will work fine. So in this area, we're only 3/8 of an inch away from the bottom of the panel, and in other areas, we're over 1 inch away. This is kind of way off scale, but you should be able to get what I'm talking about. So without that adjustment, you would just keep running into problems hitting the concrete. This way, I can snap a line all the way around, adjust all my panels to the line, and then I'll put in a base molding afterwards, and it'll be perfect. So once I traced my benchmark onto every column, I measured from the benchmark down to the ground, and I measured from the benchmark down to the grade board, and I did all my calculations, and I made a story pole or story stick, which is right here. So you can see the B right there. The benchmark gets lined up with the benchmark on the wall. Then I screw this to the wall so it's nice and steady. Now I'm going to take a square right to my lines. Basically just the bottom line is all I need. This is my interior girt right here. Here's another one. Then it gets attached down to the grade board, and they go all the way up to that one at 10 feet. Then the last one goes right under the truss up there, so I don't need a mark up there. So this one right here, this will get a line right here. Once I get all them lines in place, I'll put the wooden blocks under them like I did on the outside, and I'll pull the boards nice and straight. This right here is actually going to get a board that stops right in here somewhere, and the plywood wall is going to be screwed through some insulation right on the front here and into the window frame. That's going to be pretty interesting. I'll show you that when I get to it. The reason I'm doing all of this right now is I was doing insulation and I got to this corner and I actually cut all of the insulation for this wall right here. I was going to hang it and then thought, well, how am I going to staple it on this side? Then it came to me, oh yeah, the Girts gotta come, they'll come running through to here, and then the Girt that's right above this grade board here, that's gonna be right here. That's gonna be attached to the other Girt with a hanger. So we have a Girt coming through here, then I can insulate, then when I put the Girts on here, I'll attach that with a hanger right here. Kind of complicated, but not really. So the day that happened, I spent the rest of the day finding all the stuff. I had to go find the laser level. Well, that wasn't really hard to find. It was just a lot of trips back and forth. Got that set up and got everything marked out, did the calculations and everything. And by the time I was done with that, it was the end of the day. Then the next day I was working in the vineyard. You can still see my vineyard stuff right here. I pruned that day and the next day, and then it's just been insanely cold, windy, rainy, snowy for the last 4 or 5 days, and I haven't done much of anything out here. Today is the first day with sunshine, and it actually just came out. It's just starting to warm up in here. I have my big winter coat on, a hat, and before I started filming, I had my big gloves on because it's nasty cold out here. So I'm going to do a little cleaning and straightening up. I'm going to have to move all these bats on top of each other because I'm going to be working with wood before I get back to this. So let me get some cleaning and organizing done, and then I'll get right back with you. Okay, got the place all nice and cleaned and organized. I have a bunch of stuff over here. That's the tools and stuff that I'm working on with my insulation and Girts, so I'm just going to leave that there for now. Insulation has to wait until I get them Girts up, but the Girts have to wait for the vineyard. I believe I'll be able to get down in the vineyard tomorrow, so I'm leaving this right here. But if I can't get in the vineyard, I'll be doing the Girts, so one or the other. This right here, this just came. It says, well, let me see if you can see that. It says Barnlight USA. This is the socket. Well, this is just like a mount for the gooseneck. It's a gooseneck arm with one of them old-fashioned porcelain shades. That's going to look really cool, but that has to be mounted before I can go over this area with the insulation. So it's lucky that came. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that has to be done before insulation can go in those areas. Like, I gotta move all this temporary electric. I have to deal with the permanent electric that's going in. And I have a mini split and a heater that are gonna be going through that bay right there. So So there's a lot of stuff that's going to interrupt the insulation. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Once I had the benchmark lines up on the wall, I pulled out the big Stabilo level and went from line to line to see if the lines were level to each other. And I did that in 3 places and all of them were level. So all that stuff is good to go. I can continue around the room with my story pole. I don't have to do it all at once. As long as these benchmark hash marks remain in place, I can just get the girts in this one area and then put this somewhere where I can use a little bit later, and everything's all going to be exactly the same because the marks on this won't change. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Like I said, tomorrow the wind is supposed to stop. It's been insanely windy. Yesterday we had a wind advisory and we had gusts like 35, 40 miles an hour. Today we have like 20 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts up to 30, and it's 30 some degrees out there, so it's really cold outside. Hopefully tomorrow, it's supposed to be 30 degrees tomorrow as well, but no wind. So hopefully I can get into the vineyard, get another row or 2 done. Well, 2 rows would get the vineyard almost done. Hopefully I can do that, but if I can't, I'll be out here putting in girts and hopefully the insulation on that next wall. And when I do that, I think I'll put the girts on that next wall right away as well. It'll give me a nice place where I can lean stuff and stuff like that. All right, so if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.